Do you feel that there is nowhere to pass and almost every player is pressing you on FC25? Don't worry, by the end of this video you will be exactly able to create a lot more space in attack. I am going to show you why pros have so much space. This is pro versus pro gameplay, FC Pro Open regional qualifiers. These players are playing for the FC Pro Open Globals in London. The reason to tell you this is that if these concepts that I am about to show you work at this level, then what makes you think it won't work in rivals or for champions? You will see that the goals are really close to real life football and not many glitches are being used. This is my friend and my brightest student Ahmed playing, who just qualified for the FC Pro Open Global qualifiers in London. And this is exactly how he did it. We have to follow 5 steps. By the way, I will also tell you about a gold player which you can buy in your squad. He is not that expensive and he will change the way you play this game. First step is building the correct habits. This game is played from the subconscious mind, which basically controls most of our life, and it is programmed through repetition. Why am I telling you this? Because if you have been repeating the wrong things such as rushing your attack or not passing in the direction you are facing, then those things become your habit. No matter how many videos you watch, you won't be able to change those habits until you consciously decide to change them and repeat the correct habits over and over again. The pro players, as you can see, are not wasteful in possession and they make most out of every attack. And you might be wondering, well, how to do that? He starts from the back and controls the tempo of his team using L1 LB manual runs, and then he times his passes to score these goals. Now, it sounds simple and it is simple, but playing simple is the hardest thing you can do. Ahmed scored only one Trivela shot during this tournament, and that tells you that fundamentals can take you far. The second step is focusing on the empty space and using dummy runs. As you can see, he is doing a 1-2 give and go as if it is prime smooth FIFA 16 gameplay. It is possible to do it if you focus on these two things: where the defender is situated and how is he approaching you. He is going to use dummy runs to trap the opponent. Dummy runs are fake runs which we are not going to use. The dummy run gives him the space to move in as his opponent has no option but to track that dummy run of Marek Hamsich, which opens up the space for him. He then does an L1X 1-2 pass with R9 to Mbappe and ends up scoring a wonderful football goal. You can use the same concept in and around the box during your games to open up space. Before I show you the third step to instantly open up the space, I request you to hit that like button and subscribe as we are very close to 50,000 subscribers. The third step is using the wings to open up space. You will see Ahmed consistently builds up through the wings and then pulls the ball back in the midfield. As you might have experienced in your own games, the middle is usually clogged and there is not a lot of space to attack through. That is because against good players and even against half decent players, when you put 70 depth, it is very hard to attack through the center. He remembers the fundamental that his coach taught him: find the space, exploit the space, and that space is on the wings. Therefore, the most important player you can buy on this game after Mbappe, talking about gold cards, is Theo Hernandez. If you can afford Theo Hernandez, buy him. He will change your game. Give him the attacking wingback role and enjoy. The space is available on the wings most of the times. Hence, by exploiting the wings, he is able to drag opponents' midfielders and defenders slightly out of position, which opens up the space on the inside for a recycle or a cutback. This is a blueprint you need to follow. Most of your attacks, if not all, should start from the wings unless there is free space in the middle. So you will go in the wings, trigger runs to your fullback or to your wingers, try to attack from the wings. Once you are on the wings, you will cut the ball back. Once you consistently repeat this formula, you will see that now you're creating a lot more chances and you are able to score a lot more goals. The fourth step, however, is more game changing and most important out of everything that we have discussed so far. The fourth step is combining manual runs with player locks. It is evident he uses a lot of manual runs in his game, and that is one thing that sets him apart from his competitor. But manual runs alone can't give you the positioning you need. Guys, and manual runs aren't as simple as, oh, just click L1, LB, your player will run. You have to use them with a purpose, as I have been explaining so far. He uses manual runs to trick his opponents, okay? But like I said, sometimes you need that extra bit of positioning. So he solves that problem by combining manual runs with player locks. as it allows him to position his players precisely to set up the decisive pass. This is again something really practical that you can follow. So I tell Lucas Vasquez to run. Once he's running, I will control his run with the player lock. Now what does it do? It first gives us the motion, and we can trick the opponent. When he sees that a guy is running in behind the defense like this, he thinks he will continue the run. And when we use a player lock to instantly pull him back and then change his running direction, that is really game changing. Yes, you can argue you can do the same thing by pressing R1 and then using a creative run, but it is not the same thing, as a player lock gives you a lot more control. This way, by following this drill, you can improve your player locks and your manual runs. You have to put in the practice to build these habits. Without the fifth step, however, you won't be able to fully utilize the potential of what we have learned. And the fifth step is composure. You will see him doing the simple yet composed things, such as doing a fake shot with Alexia into the space to give him an angle to take this shot, or doing a driven shot against the rushing goalkeeper in a high pressure situation. By the way, you perform a driven shot by just tapping the circle button, okay? You have to gently tap the shooting button. The vision to spot the first time L1 triangle, and the composure to do an extra pass. How many of you would just shoot in this situation? Now, you might be wondering, how do I train composure? You do it by first identifying your mistakes through analyzing your own gameplay and then doing conscious practice to form new but correct habits. Now check this video out here to learn an overpowered dribbling trick.